Hi everybody, Kirsty, Goddess of Neptune here. Welcome to today's astrology report for the new moon in Aries. Oh, we're in Aries season. So the sun moved into Aries last night for us in the UK on GMT or British Standard Time. Apply it to your own time zones, as I always say. And we have the new moon later today on the 21st of March, 2023. Again, for us in the UK on GMT, British Standard Time, 17:23. Apply it to your own time zones. But this is coming in. We are coming in, should I say, to a new season of Aries, because the sun is now in Aries and we have this new moon. Of course, we've had the spring equinox yesterday as well, heralding that start of the new astrological year for us with the Aries season. Of course, for those of you in Australia, it's going to be autumn equinox, of course, but for us, spring equinox. When I think of that, it's that rebirth. It's the start of something new. It's a new period, a new season, however you want to look at it. And of course, whenever we get the new moon anyway, that is a new start because it's a new lunar cycle. And this is where we can set our intentions. We can manifest what we want to create in our reality. And it's just new beginnings. We've been through a lot. My previous reports will show this. I've been saying this for a while. Change, transformation. We've been feeling this. We're on the healing journey. This is all going on. And now we've kind of rounded off Pisces season and we're starting off Aries season afresh, but with that wisdom and inherent knowledge and the spiritual essence within us that's showing us and guiding us via our intuition, that source energy within guiding us in terms of now moving forward as we are in Aries season, because Aries season is all about taking action towards what we want. It's having the confidence and the courage to do that. It is the warrior sign. It's the house of the self. So we need to be looking at things from what we want to do, not what other people think we should do or what we should do for other people, what we should do for ourselves. What we need to do for ourselves. So I'm going to pull up the charts, okay? And we've got this week, there's been a lot going on already, and we've got Pluto moving into Aquarius on the 23rd on Thursday. And that's going to be big because that is that deep purge of transformation that is needed. So let me just pull up the chart and we can have a look at that. So okay, so here we've got new moon in Aries. So what you'll see, and I haven't marked it on here, sorry, because I'm trying to just get this out quickly to you all. But there on the top right-hand side, we've got that sort of packed full of energy going on within Aries now and also in Taurus. So we've got at this time, 17:23, when it's the new moon in Aries at 0 degrees 49, we also have the sun at 0 degrees 49. So an exact conjunction between the sun and the moon in Aries. Power when it comes to the soul, the sun, and power when it comes to the moon, our feelings. And this is cardinal energy. It's all about getting things done, starting things off, new season. So there's a lot of newness. There's a lot of new starts. This fire energy is kickstarting things for us, enabling us to kickstart things in our own lives. So we've got that powerful conjunction there with the sun and the moon in the sign of Aries, the sign of the warrior, the house of the self. You know, Aries rules the first house, as we know. That's the house of the self. So the sun and the moon are both there, enhancing what's driving us from our soul, from our soul's essence, and what is driving us from our emotions and our feelings relating to that. So feeling empowered in terms of what we want from our soul's guidance. What's our soul telling us? What do we want? The integrity of our soul. What do we want? And what is in alignment with our values, because we've had to go through that as part of the energy in Taurus. So that's shown us what do we want at soul level, and the moon enhancing that in terms of our feelings. So how do we feel about what do we want? What are our emotions around what we want? And enabling our emotions to also guide us forward. So utilizing the strength of our emotions with that Aries energy to go after what we want, knowing what we want from the soul level and going after what we want, because we're driven by those emotions. We're fueled by our emotions in a positive way within that sovereignty, integrity of our soul. Of course, we've got a lot more energy in Aries because we've still got Chiron there, and we have Mercury now there. And again, that's empowerment of self, empowerment of our expression of what we want. So all of this is supporting us in terms of going after what we want, having the confidence to go after what we want. And I think I need to probably calculate how many times I'm going to say want in this video, because it's about our want, you know, what we want. And we know what we want in our life. We know what we want to experience. But often other experiences, other situations, other people can cloud that sometimes. And we can go along with sort of that herd mentality, to use that term. I don't particularly like it, but we can follow the pack in that way, and really feeling then out of alignment with our integrity and our values, because we're going along with what somebody else wants us to do. This is about us doing what we want to do. So the Aries energy is packed in there, and we've still got Chiron. So there are still some wounds potentially around the courage within. So if there's self-confidence issues that are coming up to the surface, to be acknowledged and then released, processed and transmuted, but still gaining the clarity from those, then that's also something that could be going on, because Jupiter is still there expanding that for us to see. So it's working for us, not against us, and recognizing there is also hope within our healing journey, because it's empowering us. All the healing we're going through is making us stronger. So therefore, it's empowering us. It's empowering us more to go after what we want, because when we heal and we're acknowledging, accepting pain of the past, but saying, okay, I need to heal that because I don't want to hold the pain of the past anymore. I'm going to gain the clarity from that. I'm going to gain the wisdom. Thank you very much. But I'm leaving the pain over there. I'm going to carry the wisdom forward. Then you know you're more empowered to do so. So the healing empowers us to do that. So that's why there is hope. And we also have Vesta there in Aries as well. So divine feminine energy, of course, the asteroid that represents the sacred flame. So very appropriate being in Aries, because it is that sort of fire energy anyway. But think of Goddess Bridget energy, Saint Bridget energy. That is all about new beginnings as well, when you recognize Saint Bridget's Day that we had 1st of February. So it's enhancing that divine feminine support for what we want to do, what we want to change. And remember, Aries is a masculine sign. It's ruled by Mars. It's all about the warrior, the fighter, going after what we want, the masculine drive within all of us to go after what we want. And the feminine energy is there, okay, with Vesta supporting and nurturing us through that, because she is also in this masculine sign, providing that balance for us in that way. Interestingly, we also have then in Taurus, Venus with Juno. So at this time of the new moon, there is an exact conjunction between Juno and Venus. So 5 degrees of Taurus. So again, you know, that's heightened feminine energy, because Juno is feminine energy and Venus is feminine energy. And that is really supporting the love that we need to show ourselves when it comes to our worth and values, Taurus energy. So all this change, all this empowerment that's being called for with this new moon in Aries, now we're in Aries season, but certainly in terms of our intentions going forward, we're having that energy nurturing us through the healing, nurturing us through this change, and nurturing us through this empowerment of ourselves for us to be able to go after what we want, what we truly want, what is in alignment with our truth and our integrity and our values. Uranus is still there in Taurus, calling for change. Pluto is creeping ever closer to that door to Aquarius. In a couple of days' time, he's going to be saying, hi, I'm in Aquarius, just like Saturn did when Saturn moved into Pisces. And Pluto is going to be enhancing that transformation, deep transformation that's needed and that's been needed. We're aware of this on the healing journey where things need to change. But this is deep transformation that can be uncomfortable. So having that feminine energy when it comes to our worth and values in the sign of Taurus is helping nurture us. We need to, as above, so below, utilize that energy to show ourselves that self-love through all this change, to show ourselves that self-love through our healing journey, to keep us on our healing journey on track, to show ourselves that self-love through empowerment of expression of what we want, Aries energy, and utilizing the sun being conjunct the moon in Aries at the time of the new moon to truly embody the soul essence of what we want and the emotions of what we want to obtain what we want. So it's a driving force forward to achieve that. So I'm just going to stop sharing that one, and I am going to now share the transits relating to the UK natal chart. So bear with me. Okay, so hopefully you can see that on the screen. Again, I've not marked this up, so apologies for that, but you can see at the top, that's where the heavy energy is. And for the UK's chart, and as I always say, take what resonates. This is based on the UK's natal chart. It's going to be different for your chart, so you need to apply it as appropriate. But some of the messages could resonate for you as part of the collective, of course. So at the top, you can see all that energy in Aries, and we've got most of it in the 10th house, which is the house of work, the house of social status. But we also have some of it in the 9th house, and that is where the sun and the moon are going to be conjuncting when it's the new moon in Aries. And interestingly, it's also conjunct 0 degrees Uranus in the natal chart of the UK. So the essence of change when it comes to our beliefs, 9th house, and what we need to learn from ourselves, other people, situations, is calling for that change. But the sun and the moon are there to enhance that energy from the soul and our emotions. So what do we know inherently within our soul that needs to change regarding our beliefs? What do we know inherently within from our soul that we still need to learn, and therefore what needs to change? Moon is there. How do we feel about what needs to change when it comes to our beliefs? How does it feel to understand what needs to change when it comes to expression and embodiment of our sovereign self when it comes to our beliefs? And Neptune is also transiting through the 9th house. So still utilizing on the light side that spiritual energy of being in touch with our soul, our intuition. Mercury is, of course, now in Aries, but the natal chart, Mercury is in Pisces. So, and we're best served when we're always in contact with our intuition anyway, regardless of the time. But it's just when Mercury was in Pisces, transiting through, that was enhancing our connection and our communication to source energy within, our intuition. What do we need to understand about ourselves in terms of our worth and values? Thank you, intuition. I've got that message now. Okay, Mercury moves into Aries. Now we need to express that because we know what we want to go towards, what we want. So that's the light side. Neptune can still enhance that Piscean energy because Neptune's in Pisces, but it's transiting through the 9th house on this particular chart. So our beliefs when it comes to spirituality, for example, does anything need to change there? What have we learned? Do we need to learn more? What needs to change? Very powerful with that conjunction of the sun and the moon both at 0 degrees, conjunct the UK's natal chart Uranus at 0 degrees of Aries. So certainly change in our sovereignty when it comes to our beliefs and utilizing the soul and our emotions. So intuition, our soul essence, and our emotions to guide us in that way. And when we move to the 10th house, where there's a lot more Aries energy, because that's where Chiron is, it's still healing that element of social status, how we might appear, in a social aspect to other people. But also what we want to do in terms of work. And we know we've got the North Node there. And the North Node is actually in Taurus. And interestingly, is in between Juno in Taurus feminine asteroid, and Vesta in Aries, feminine asteroid. So there is also that softening and nurturing being shown to our truth when it comes to our purpose. So what do we inherently know within of what is right for us? Why are we here? What is our purpose here? Juno is showing us that love when it comes to our worth and values, being in Taurus, and Vesta is helping with that sacred flame energy, but still divine feminine energy when it comes to Aries. So we still have that balance going on, but needing to accept and acknowledge the truth of what we're here to do. And that can sound as big or as minor as you might like. But if you're doing something where you're not fulfilled, and all of these transits has been showing you recently with this transformation as well, of I'm not meant to be doing that because it's not fulfilling me. I need to be doing this because actually that's what I want to do in accordance with your soul, in accordance with your emotions. Then that feminine energy is also supporting the North Node when it comes to your truth and the reality of what it is that you want to be doing. Venus being there as well, also giving that. But I was just drawn to the fact that the North Node is sitting right between those two divine feminine energies. When we look at Uranus, Uranus is transiting through the 11th house based on this particular chart. So it'd be useful for you to look at where Uranus is transiting through on your own chart, of course, but on this chart, the 11th house, still in Taurus, but in the 11th house. And the 11th house is all about connections. Pluto is in the 7th house of relationships. And even when Pluto moves into Aquarius, he will still be in the 7th house. So this is big transformation, deep transformation and change when it comes to our worth and values in relationships. At the moment, Pluto still has that Capricorn energy. There could be karmic relationships coming up that need to be transformed. So they may need to be acknowledged for what they are, gaining the wisdom, learning the lessons. Think about Saturn with the lessons as well, learning the lessons from those relationships and then being able to process and release and move forward. That could be what the change is. But there's certainly something about relationships that can be people, places, things, but we've also got Uranus change in the 11th house of connections. So that is heavy change energy when it comes to our connections with other people, our relationships with other people. So bear that in mind. And remember that we've also got Lilith transiting through at the moment here on this chart, the 2nd house of worth and values. So that darker shadow side where self-esteem issues can come up. Lilith is currently showing in Leo. So about being seen, about that true expression of self. So that might be where there is that kind of push-pull within us of wanting to be empowered to move forward with this Aries energy, wanting to really manifest and set intentions for what we want to achieve based on everything I've said. We know what needs to change. Karmic relationships are coming up to be changed, to be transformed. And then Lilith might be there just saying, are you sure about that? Do you really want to be seen as your true self? Thus creating that potential doubt that can lead to then self-doubt and self-confidence issues. Instead, what we need to do is we need to look at how much energy is in Aries supporting us, what the energy is in Taurus supporting us when it comes to our worth and values, and then look at Lilith on her own in Leo. So that might sound mean to Lilith, but basically look at all the energy that is supporting you in empowering yourself to move forward. And then you've got Lilith trying to put doubt on it. No, I don't think so. Let's empower ourselves as that sovereign self and move forward. So I hope that resonates for you in relation to your journey. Of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, as always. And I'm just going to pull a few cards, okay, just to round this off. So I'm going to use the Astro deck first of all, in terms of what we might need to know relating to the new moon in Aries. But there is a lot of Aries energy that is there to support us, and that's what we need to hold on to. So as I said, look at all that energy that's supporting us. You know, we're still going through the healing journey, admittedly, so it can feel like it's challenging. It's a journey, but how much more empowered do you feel when you can get through your healing journey? coming out of it as that strong warrior, that strong spiritual warrior, and recognizing that's through your own strength in processing trauma, processing attachment bonds and abandonment wounds and whatever it might be. But it's a testament of your strength to get through it. So you've earned your right as a sovereign soul because you've had to go through all this healing and transformation. Okay, let's see what we have from the Astro deck. The new moon in Aries, thank you. New moon in Aries. Right, we have Scorpio in reverse. Pluto rules Scorpio. It is that deep energy, the depths. And on here we have investigate. So you might need to investigate where aspects of those relationships might need to be evolving, changing, transforming because of the Pluto energy being in the 7th house when I looked at that chart with the UK, but just generally what needs to transform. Thanks, Pluto, for confirming that. Yeah, so we have Pluto on the bottom of the deck there. Thank you, Spirit. Absolute confirmation there. Hidden energy. So hidden energy. Pluto's not going to be hidden for much longer. I mean, he's not really that hidden anyway, is he? Because we can see him on the chart. But he is the god of the underworld. So there's hidden elements. And that's why Scorpio, scorpionic energy, is the depth. So this is all about that rebirth that is needed, and it's necessary, but it could be uncomfortable for some people, and that could be why there is that reluctance to look at something, to investigate something. There might be that reluctance because do we really want to see what needs to be transformed? Do we really want to accept that? Wow, that's powerful. Thank you for that confirmation, Spirit. Moonology manifestation deck, okay, because it's the new moon in Aries. We have from the Moonology manifestation deck, what do we have? What do we have from the Moonology manifestation? Thank you so much. We have 2 there, okay. On the bottom, we have keep your heart open. So again, embracing that feminine energy that's there to support, allow your heart to still be open to divine opportunities, to not close it off, even though the healing journey can be painful. We need to protect ourselves. We need to put the boundaries in place, healthy boundaries, but to keep your heart open to the divine, to, you know, these opportunities that could be coming your way. Talk less, feel more. That's Piscean energy. That's really allowing yourself to go with the flow, feel into situations, use the energy of the moon when it's going to be conjunct the sun at the new moon, feel into your emotions because that's going to guide you forward in terms of what you want. Talk less, feel more. Don't talk yourself out of things because of that Lilith energy. Utilize the Aries energy, utilize the wisdom that you've gained from Pisces season to feel into the situation. What is truly in alignment with your values and your worth? And I say truly, what is truly in alignment? This is where that might come into play because perhaps you know what's truly in alignment and you're resisting it because it means transforming a relationship with somebody else and you don't want to face it. So there could be aspects of that, and that's why you need to keep your heart open and allow the divine to guide you through your intuition. And then we have step up and lead. So it's new moon energy, but it's new moon in Capricorn. Obviously, this is new moon in Aries. There is still an element of leadership in that because it's Aries. It's, you know, cardinal sign, moving things forward, taking action, being the leader, being the warrior, being the sovereign self. So there is a need to step up and lead for your life. What do you want? And then move forward and lead in terms of your life. And to just round it off, I've got the Gilded Tarot Royale Sovereign deck. I thought it was very appropriate for Aries energy. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have, please, from the Gilded Tarot Royale. Now, interestingly, those 2 didn't want to go back in, and look what we got there. Wowzers. So this is a tower moment for a connection here. And what was I just saying about Pluto coming in? You know, take it as it resonates because Pluto is going to be transiting through a different house for you in your chart. But when I looked at that collectively for the UK, this could be very symbolic of that because this is a, you know, 2 of Cups is a soulmate connection. In reverse, there is disharmony there. So what's going to happen? The Tower is going to come in. The Tower is going to come in, and that's change. That is scorpionic energy. And the Tower shouldn't be feared because it's necessary change. On the bottom, Ace of Pentacles, yeah, in order to bring forth that new stable beginning and abundance, and you see how majestic that is and how big that pentacle is, the gold, the sovereignty of that. We're all worthy of that. We're all worthy of a new stable beginning that's going to bring us abundance, joy and love, loyalty. But something needs to change here. The Tower needs to come in, major arcana, relating to a connection or maybe many connections. Take it how it resonates. Anything final from that, please? Thank you. Yes, having the strength to do so. That's Leo energy. So we've got major arcana energy of Scorpio and Leo. And that is also fixed energy, because Scorpio is fixed energy and Leo is fixed energy. So needing to be almost fixed in your beliefs in terms of what you want. So of course, allowing yourself to flow, but when you know what you want, holding on to that and being empowered to hold on to that, not to allow any other distractions to take you off course. That's what I mean by that. So you can utilize that fixed energy to your advantage by having the strength to accept that change is needed because there is currently disharmony in a connection. And that could be any connection, people, places, things, but this is mainly about people. Take it as it resonates. But there's a need to embrace that Pluto energy because Pluto's coming. Okay, Pluto is coming. So sending you love and blessings. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. All the best.